Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Janelle Samora, and this is Scent Talk from my closet, the fragrance closet. And on this channel, we go over all things fragrance. If it is your first time watching, I do like to focus on one perfume house or topic at a time. And while we are on the topic of vanilla and gourmand fragrances, I wanted to take a little break here, or not a break, but I wanted to deep dive into the MORPH brand. It's an Italian niche perfume brand. Lovely subscriber Shimmerluck sent over these wonderful samples. When I got to checking them out, of course, I was most interested in wear testing and reviewing MORPH DISUMANO. Ended up with a full bottle here, one of the last full bottle purchases of the year of 2023, and what a delightful fragrance it turned out to be. I will link the full description. It's an unboxing as well to MORPH DISUMANO. And for today, I want to deep dive into a little more of the brand's offerings. Now, I didn't want to single out every fragrance and do one video per fragrance because I do have some plans for the end of the year. Going to take a poll and see what you guys are most interested in kind of summarizing the year with. And I want to have a little bit of fun with that. So I figured let's not take, too much time, but I do want to give an overview of what every single sample here did give me. I wore the fragrances. I kind of got a feel for what they're given. We're not going to do a full on, body care layering and all of that. If there's any one that really piques your interest, we can do that at a later time. Just let me know in the comments. If this is something you're interested in, go ahead and continue watching. Consider hitting that subscription button and the bell so you'll be notified to new videos. Okay, guys, let's start off with the second sample here that really piqued my interest. That would be Zeta right here. The notes for this, there's only three, is cacao, ambergris, and bitter almond. This is a 2018 release, and it was compared to, in quite a few reviews, to Baccarat Rouge 540. So I was expecting a little Baccarat Rouge. I was also expecting maybe even with the cacao and the bitter almond, maybe a different take on or a hybrid of these two fragrances. What I ended up with was something similar to Baccarat Rouge 540, but also different. Okay, not at all what I had envisioned. This is not a heavy fragrance, not one bit. It is very similar. I sprayed it here on my hand. Oh, it is really similar to that Baccarat Rouge 540, of course, with that ambergris, and it's got the sugary, just burnt sugar tone to it. I will say I don't pick up any medicinal vibe. I know a lot of people really don't jive with Baccarat Rouge 540 for that medicinal vibe or tone that it has. I don't get that here at all. It's a really smooth feel of a fragrance. Really, really sweet. Ooh, I must have sprayed it like 10, 15 minutes ago. And it is in that really light cacao, sweet phase. That is the majority of the wear is that. When it first opens up, let me just spray it again. Just right here. When it first opens up, I want to wear it at least one more time. So I don't want to waste it. Oh, it does have that little balsamic bitter tone, not medicinal again, but balsamic and bittery. Like just bitter is what I get. I'm assuming that is what the ambergris is giving us because it's the same feel that I do get in the opening of Baccarat Rouge 540. Now, the fragrance, kind of how did it wear? It wore. It wore all day long. This fragrance went the distance. It went 10 plus hours on the skin. It really did cling to the skin, on the clothes. I did have some projection. I do feel like everybody around me could smell it. And they might even mistake it for Baccarat Rouge 540 or any of their dupes, possibly. However, to me, to my nose, I really do feel like it was very refined and it was a nice wear. It has the same peekaboo feel as the Baccarat Rouge. Every now and then I'm like, is that it? Is that all it gave? We're 3 hours in. Are we done? And then I would start to move around or oh, excuse me, or my body would heat up, and I and here comes back the wonderful sweet scent. And of course, putting my nose up to my hand here, I would also smell the fragrance. So I would say it is even more present than the Baccarat Rouge 540. So even though it feels a little bit light, I would still go easy on the sprays. I would not go too heavy. Yeah, I wouldn't. Really, really nice. Oh, the things I would wear with Zeta. I do think it's different enough, you guys, to own both. And I also, or if you're making a choice, I also feel like this fragrance has a better price point. You're going to get 100 mls. I'll put the price point up here, but it's definitely not, in the $300-400 range for 70 mls. So price per ml is going to be better. It does smell refined. It smells niche. It smells beautiful. I really, really enjoy this wear. Yeah, so this is a go for me. It's definitely on the wish list for some time in the future. It's not anything I need to rush out and buy though, because I do have other things that I could kind of replicate it, with. Oh, but it was nice. I'll give it that. So that there you have it. That was Zeta. Wonderful projection, wonderful sillage. You do leave a scent trail. Beautiful longevity as well. Okay, so there's that fragrance. Next, we're gonna get into Morph's Vapor. Now, Morph's Vapor, that's the next one that sparked my interest. Anything with fruity notes, here we are. I really want to get down with. I went very easy on this trigger, you guys. This is a 2020 release. I did not spray this, and I should have before the video. Um, I went so easy on this trigger. I wanted to wear the fragrance, but I was going to the office, so I didn't want it to be too overwhelming or overbearing, because that initial whiff, that initial opening is so potent. I mean, really, really strong. I went with a micro spray even now. I don't know if you can see on my hand, it's glistening. It's yeah, it's glistening. This has a nice percentage of perfume oil. Oh, definitely. So in this fragrance, oh man, we have the notes are top lime, tangerine, black pepper. That's all we have in the top. In the mid, we have wild berries, raspberry, geranium, and peony. And in the base, we have amber, Madagascar vanilla, caramel, and sandalwood, heavily compared to Xerjoff's Herba Pura, heavily everywhere. They're like, oh, did we really need another Xerjoff Herba Pura? There's a lot of people that don't jive with this fragrance. I personally adore it. I love the fruity tones, even the animalic quality that it has. It's a quite polarizing fragrance, though. Either you love it or you don't. So here's another one. I do like it, and I can tolerate the spicy notes that I find in here as well. I call it that Xerjoff spice, and this fragrance definitely gives an air to Herba Pura, but it is not Herba Pura. Another fragrance that it is compared to is Kirk by Tiziana Terenzi. Is that the name of the brand? I believe so. I'll put the bottle up here for you guys. And to me personally, it also gave an air to another fragrance we tried recently, or that I tried to try, and that fragrance is Dahab by Kajal. I was not able to jive with this fragrance, you guys. There are some spicy, spicy tones in the fragrance. It did not take long to get there. I remember it ruining my wing dinner. I had sprayed it just to give it a spot test. I was eating wings and the whole time choking myself out. I was like, oh, I cannot. This is so not me. I'm not jiving. Um, a lot of people on this review did comment that they really did enjoy to have. So for Vapor, I feel like if you enjoy to have or fragrances like Xerjoff Herba Pura, yeah, we can put them in this category, but it is not at all exactly the same to those two that I just mentioned. This is different. This has a very realistic lime opening. I mean, that lime just pops. And next we get a sweet, sweet, oh, I'm getting excited. I'm getting excited because of that sweet, just sweet citrus. I mean, this is a candied sweet citrus smell. And, it's not creamy. It is fruity. It is fruity fruit basket, juicy fruity fruit basket. It if I had to if it had to lead my nose or explain it in any way, I feel the kids recently got these little packages of those, are they Welch's? Oh my gosh, they're those fruity, literally fruits. And in the middle, kind of like the gushers, they have fruit juice. Oh my gosh, that is this right here. That is what it reminded me of. I was like, oh, this is nice. This is juicy. This is tropical. I adore tropical tones, and it has a bit of that tropical tone in here. I found it so interesting how it can be in the same realm as these fragrances, but at the same time be its very own thing. It was enjoyable. The spicy notes do come in. Where do we get those from? The geranium, I believe. That's a floral, and the black pepper. There are, and the ambery tones in the base, they do come out, and they do not ever overtake the fragrance. That is what happened to me, you guys, with the Hab. That is why I was not able to drive with the fragrance. It did not happen with Vapor, and I was so worried that it would. I gave it a very light spray all over on my skin and on my clothes. I mean, you see what I got going on here. It's almost full. This fragrance is extremely potent. So even with the very light wear or light sprays that I gave it, I was still just enamored by the fragrance. I said, "Oh man." Straight up unisex, you guys. I mean, anyone can rock this. Yes, a man, if a man walked by wearing this, I'd be like, nice, nice choice. Nice taste in fragrances. I mean, it's just one of those. And again, with your own personal skin chemistry, I think everybody would give this, their own air. Now, so where it differs from the Dahab is that it doesn't have that overpowering spice, even though the spice is there, and it scared me a little bit. I said, "Oh, this is going to be another one of those mouth-watering, juicy, fruity fruit baskets," and then only spice in the dry down, very dry spice, very dry amber, and it was not that. The lime and the fruit tones, it just kind of interweaves and goes in and out throughout the entire day. So you get whiffs of that initial rush, that initial wonderful scent. Now, it also differs from Herba Pura in that I find this fragrance to be very oxymoron, very light, fresh, and then it warms up and it gets creamy all of a sudden. And it does have that animalic tone, so it's really different. The only notes that remind me of the fragrances here, that similarities, is that fruit, is that really fruity fruit basket. And even then, I find Vapor to be juicier. I really do. So that is my take, you guys, on Vapor. I really enjoyed it. If I had to go for a fragrance full bottle to choose, I would go for the Vapor over Zeta. I just would. If I had the funds right now, I would choose Vapor. Well, nothing would top this for me out of this whole bunch. But out of the four that we're going over today, I'm just gonna go out and say it that I would go with Vapor. I just would. Oh, this just smells just so luxurious, fresh, clean, fruit, wonderful. I can't say enough just wonderful things about it. It was enjoyable the whole way through. And that's what I look for in fragrances. I was getting to the excellent longevity. I wore the fragrance with the very light sprays that I gave myself, and it was so present and it projected so beautifully off of me. I was like, oh my gosh, that's all I needed to enjoy this. There's another fragrance that has this type of lime. What was that fragrance? I'm staring at genre's interpretation of it called Anguillian Water. Is it by Creed? There's another fragrance that has lime, you guys, and I can't remember who. Virgin Island Water. Yes, by Creed. They have that lime note in the top. I guess you could call it synthetic lime, but I really do enjoy it. So yeah, that's another where it leads my nose to. The lime in the fragrance in the top. Man, what I would not love to pair with this. If there's any fragrance that I would love to do a full day review and body care layering, just enjoy it for a couple of days and come back and report to you guys, it would be Vapor. Okay, I'm done gushing over that one. We have two more fragrances left, you guys. So let's keep it going. I do have to spray it though to remind myself. For this fragrance, I did wear it again a full day, but I didn't go again too crazy with the sprays because the opening was really, really strong and almost like this might be a white floral headache inducing fragrance, and I might not be able to recuperate, to recover. This fragrance is called Malaga by Morph. Now, this fragrance is a floral fragrance. So in the top, we have freesia, violet leaf, and cyclamen. We have some lemon and some sweet orange as well. In the mid, we have white lily, musk, heliotrope, and jasmine. And in the base, vanilla, white musk, sandalwood, and patchouli. If you're a floral toned lover, this will be one for you. This one smells nice. I don't jive with florals too often. Now, in the opening, it does hit you with a little bit of a classic smell, a little bit of a Chanel number 5, if you know what I mean, a little bit of something that it's like, oh, that might be too floral, too white floral, too uninteresting, for my personal preferences. And then it just wasn't. This is a beautiful floral. The only fragrances that I found this to be compared to, I'm not familiar with. There was literally only two mentioned. Oh, Memo Lalivela. I do have a sample of Lalivela by Memo Paris. I do love that house as well. I have a floral from them too, actually. Memo Siwa has a little bit of florals in there, and Memo Ila Domel. That's a sweet honey jasmine type scent. This gives me a little bit of that Memo floral air. At the way beginning, like I'm saying, I got a little bit scared. I don't care for Lalibela, so for this one to be kind of, compared to it, I was a little worried. Um, nothing to be worried about. This fragrance develops beautifully. It does give us some powdery tones and some vanillic-like qualities from that heliotrope. It is only the opening that has a strong, dated feel, but it just transitions so quickly and smoothly. I found the fragrance to be very smooth, almost aquatic like, somewhere, somehow. Oh, the white lily and, the jasmine, just it's floral, like florals in a vase, with water, a little bit, not too aquatic, just a touch of aquatic, and then that heliotrope and that sweetness that starts to come in the mid. We're not there yet, but once it gets there, it's like, what is that beautiful smell? I mean, it's just beautiful. It's a classy, sophisticated, feminine white floral. Ooh, with a little bit of sweetness. And yes, you do get a powdery tone. So if you're not a fan of white florals, if you're not a fan of powdery tones, this is definitely not going to be something you'd want to try. But I found it. The vanilla that is in here is not a foodie vanilla. No, it's a floral clean vanilla. And yeah, so it's just really pure elegance. Pure elegance. Um, yeah, nice and creamy, a little bit of softness to it, and it just beautiful. It's a beautiful wear. Would I be interested in adding to my collection? No, simply because this is not a fragrance, that I gravitate towards. I've said it over and over. I do have quite a few Lancome florals that I picked up over the course of sampling and all that because I found them to be so classic and they had that wonderful vanilla also, like the La Vie Belle that I've wasted many years not enjoying. Things of that nature. And to me, this fragrance, it would just sit there. It's not something that I would really crave or want to reach for too often. Oh, but it is a beautiful scent. It really, really is. It also gives me like a Guerlain air, just really beautiful. Super nice. Not for me, but definitely for you guys out there that can appreciate this type of floral, powdery, sweet, just nice. I would give this one a go. I would add it to my collection if I were interested in this scent profile. Okay, speaking of not being interested in scent profiles, we have our last one, and it was the most challenging for me to try. I almost didn't, but I said, no, I want to try them all for everybody. I want to really, really give a breakdown, not only what the notes are, anybody can read what the notes are, but what do they smell like? How am I personally interpreting these? I can't speak today. Vapor still has me all excited. Oh, I can't speak today. Okay, I'm gonna spray this on the inside of this arm because it is clean. This is called Morph Nudo. And if I would really have, it is of course unisex, but if I really had to place it, one way or the other, I would prefer to smell this on a male. I personally would not want to wear this. Me. I just wouldn't. This has been compared to Black Afghano. In the notes, we have an herbal opening of cacao plant, cashmere, and incense. Well, it says coca plant. I didn't look it up. I'm so sorry. I normally nerd out on stuff like this, and I'm like, what's coca plant? But I mean, the way that I'm interpreting that note is um, that it's just an herbal feel of a note. So this is what I get from this fragrance. And it's so hard to wash this off. My goodness. When I wore it, I surprisingly sprayed it a couple of times because I'm like, am I liking this? I don't know. Oh man. Okay. So in the opening, the notes are really, really strong. They're very tobacco-like to me, very tobacco-like. Um, I think it's the cashmere that kind of cuts through that. There's no sharpness, I was very surprised not to find any sharpness, even though I'm not a fan of the profile. I was like, oh, it's kind of smooth, Yeah, kind of got a little bit of tobacco, a little bit. Yeah, and then just kind of like a green leaf scent in the background with some woody touches. That is what I'm getting, when the fragrance opens up. Just ooh, strong tobacco like, little bit of woody, and green leaf background. Now, it also kind of wants to give me a little bit of agar wood type quality as well. And yeah, just really soft, herbal, agarwood like, tobacco like, even though there's no tobacco here, there's incense. So this is just the way the incense and that plant is given me. If you like, I don't. If you like dark scents, this will be one for you to pick up. Um, I would imagine that the longevity is really, really nice. Oh, I didn't go over the longevity for the floral fragrance, you guys. That thing lingered. Okay, it hung on. It is gonna be there until I wash my clothes. Like it was, again, all of these fragrances longevity have been really, really nice. I was only able to wear the Morph Nudo for a good 6 hours before I said, okay, I've studied the fragrance. I can kind of speak to it a little bit without really enjoying it. That's just not what I prefer to wear. Yeah, no. In fact, while I was wearing it, I thought, oh, I want to mix this with, some Tom Ford Lost Cherry, or I wanted to make it sweeter. I wanted to make it my own, you know. But I said, no, don't mess with it. I just want to, check it out for the people's. Yeah, if you enjoy this type of scent, then I also picture a little bit of leather in here somewhere. Yeah, I'm getting a leathery vibe as well. Just, really, really male. Male. It reminds me of male. That is what I'm getting in Morph Nudo, you guys. 6 hours, but I do feel like this fragrance could go the distance. As it started to, as I was wearing it, it did get a little sweeter in the dry down, but again, not sweet enough for my liking. Couldn't keep or hold my attention personally. But if you like this scent profile, this can be a good one. I mean, just really high quality notes. The way that they're blended, the way that they smell. It's beautiful for you, not for me. It wasn't beautiful for me. I can just appreciate the fragrance, the perfumery, the artistry here. You can tell it is just really high quality. Yeah, every single fragrance that I tried from the brand so far, so we've tried 5, have projected beautifully, and the strength longevity has been top notch. Some of the strongest fragrances I've tried in a while here on the channel. So that was my take on these 4 fragrances, in addition to the one that won my heart. There's Charlie. He scared me. I'm sorry. Charlie thinks, Mom, are you done recording? Because it's time for my walk. Like, what are you doing? He waits for me usually. I take a good 20 minutes, so he's got it timed, and then he shows up, bursts through the door, and then we're on our merry way to have a walk, in the afternoon. I love my baby dogs and their routines. They just know. He scared me though. All right, you guys, that was it for today. I do have to head out and take Charlie on his walk, and I apologize if I scared you. But I'll be heading out now. I hope you enjoyed the little breakdown here. It was more than just first impressions. I did apply these to my skin and or wear them out of the house. A full day for you guys, other than the Morph Noodle. I couldn't do that one a full day, unfortunately, for me. But yeah, I really take pride in coming on here and giving you guys my full on opinions and thoughts after I've worn the fragrance. First impressions are great too. They're like, oh, new discovery, and what is this going to give me, and expectations, and then you come back and give your full on review. But this is just, I love to do this. This is so much fun. So thank you guys for tuning in, for listening to the review. If you've stayed this long, if you listened to every single one of them. If not, or if you did, let me know which one is the one you want to get your nose on. What do you want to try out? There are some samples available, and I will link in the description where you can find them. If I find them, I'll link them for you. And that was it for today. Y'all have a blessed rest of your day, your evening, or your night, and you stay safe. Bye-bye.